stories on the brief at this hour. We start off with President Bola Tinubu's optimism that Nigeria's economy is at a turning point and will require the steadfast support of the private sector for sustained growth and prosperity. Well, he was speaking during the breaking of a fast in the nation's capital, Abuja, with members of the Nigerian business community whom he appreciated for their support. Now, according to the statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Ajuri Galali, President Tinubu reiterated his commitment to fulfilling his mandate, emphasizing that he cannot afford to underperform given the trust placed in him by the electorate. Let's talk security now. The Inspector General of the Police, Mr. Olukayode Egbetoku, has been given an update on the efforts of the police force to fulfill its mandate of securing lives and properties in the first quarter of the year. Well, the IGP, who was speaking during a meeting with the force management team in Abuja, announced that 9 persons have been arrested in connection with the killings of 6 policemen in Ogeli Delta State, with 6 others at large. Mr. Egbetoku says those arrested are currently giving the force information that will aid in the arrest of those who were involved in the killings.
The abduction and killing of 6 of our personnel during a special operation at Ifu Forest, Ugeli North, local government of Delta State, on 26 February 2024 is a sore testament to the hazards confronting us daily as we strive to keep our country safe. The entire police family is deeply pained by the heinous act of violence against our officers in the ordinary course of their duties. We have made significant progress in the investigation into this tragic incident. A total of 9 suspects confirmed to have been actively involved in the killing of these officers have so far been apprehended and are currently assisting in unraveling the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident.
Well, it's not just arrests that the police has been doing. It's also been said that the police just promoted over 10,000 officers of the force, but we'll bring you more details on the show. But staying with security, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, says the nation's armed forces are demonstrating resilience in the face of adversity and working to effectively address the diverse security challenges within the nation. The Army Chief underscored this commitment during his inaugural annual lecture series titled "The Role of the Military in Safeguarding Nigeria's National Interests and Security," emphasized that despite manpower constraints, the Nigerian armed forces have attained the status of the 4th most powerful military in Africa.
The 3 arms of the armed forces of Nigeria are inadequately manned, which applies to other security agencies. In a country of 226 million people, it is impossible for the totality of security agencies of about 2 million or the armed forces of Nigeria, about 200,000 active personnel, without a reserve force to secure the entire populace. The armed forces of Nigeria has displayed progress amid adversities and are striving to mitigate and transform its internal structures, training, procurement, and acquisition of modern weapons, among others, to respond to the varied security threats in the nation and abroad.
And as we told you earlier, motorists who ply the 3rd Mainland Bridge can now heave a sigh of relief as the bridge has now been reopened after 2 months of repairs. At the reopening, the Federal Controller Works in Lagos State, Caretaker, however, says anyone who drives beyond 80 kilometers per hour in the bridge will be in violation of the acceptable speed limit, which is 80, and will be liable to a penalty. She also decried the destructive tendency of some motorists who barely care about how their activities affect the bridge. And to politics now. Barely 24 hours after threatening to spring a surprise on his political opponents, the River State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, is firing another salvo. But this time, he is rejecting any changes to the list of caretaker committee members of the People's Democratic Party in the state. The governor's remarks come after concerns raised by his supporters about the list of state and local government caretaker committee members published by the party's National Working Committee.
We had a meeting and we agreed that not just in River State but all the states affected, that the A schools should be extended for 3 months. This extension is not bringing in new names. The extension also did not say you're working without the authority of the governor. So for those lists you saw, and those ones altered, I can assure you it's not going to stand.
Thank you!
For record purposes, so that you understand, we also agreed that we are going to have, in fact there is a NEC meeting on the 18th of this month that should ratify that decision. So what you are seeing there is desperate people who like media, who like people to just empty drum.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it appears to be a river of unending political intrigues because the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has been reacting to another comment of the governor on the implementation of the Presidential Peace Pact. The Rivers APC Caretaker Chairman, Mr. Tony Okocha, while speaking to journalists in Port Harcourt, the state capital, accuses the governor of being economical with the truth.
He wants to procure interim order restraining or stopping the implementation of the laws which he was vetoed over. He wants to procure an order to announce as illegal the Rivers State House of Assembly as constituted and as led by Right Honorable Martins, Chike, and reading through the 8 points above, will it be true to say that indices 6 and 8 have been implemented? What are 6 and 8? That you present a budget to the legitimate assembly, recognized by Mr. President as being headed by Right Honorable Martins, Chike, Amebule, that you should present the budget. I'm asking the press, has that been done? Now, have Index 8, which of course directed the governor to conduct an election and never recognize any other nomenclature in the local governments. Has it been done? Again, you are all aware that by effusion of time, the governor's blatant refusal to conduct election, of course, goes to affect the instant laws of Rivers State. And of course, it's a blatant, but a deliberate attempt to disrespect and disobey Mr. President.
Well, away from politics now, reactions have continued to trail the increase in electricity tariff for Band A customers. Well, a cross-section of Nigerians say the timing is poor considering the high cost of living in the country, from the Magodo area of Lagos State to Asokoro, the nation's capital, Abuja. By the way, these are two areas classified under Band A, and the news is not well received to these people.
I just drove in now before you stopped me. You check my car. It's diesel and fuel I went to buy. So, it's sad. With all those low quality service we get, you're saying it's now 255 per kilowatt. Strange and sad. Like this street you are on, you're in now, the zone you're in, we normally pay close to 180,000 naira every month to power the street lights. So you're going to times it by 4. You know what that means? Do you get what I'm saying? There's already a hardship. People are going through a lot concerning inflation. Now you're adding this one to it. You get, and not this lights, you know what they help do? When there's proper lighting in a place, what you get is like security is tight.
Where I'm coming from, my office, there's no light since morning. There's no light, and they are just offing, and you can't burn anything for this, and they are increasing. It's very, very bad.
Okay, I'm talking about palliatives,
for people, and then suddenly this one comes again. So it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul thing.
Well, elsewhere, the chairman of the Kano State Anti-Corruption and Public Complaints Commission, Moi Magaji, has been suspended from his position by the Code of Conduct Tribunal following a 10-count charge of corruption filed against him by the Code of Conduct Bureau on November the 16th last year. The suspension was announced in a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary of the CCB, Mrs. Veronica Kato. According to Mrs. Kato, the decision to suspend Alhaji Magaji is to ensure that he does not interfere with the ongoing trial against him, which has been adjourned to May the 7th and 8th, 2024 for further hearings. Well, staying with legal matters, the EFCC has filed 6-count charge against Idris Waju Okunaye, popularly known as Bobrisky. Bobrisky will be arraigned before Justice Abimbola Awogboro of the Lagos Federal High Court, or the Federal High Court in Lagos. While the first 4 counts of charge border on abuse of the naira, the last 2 border on alleged money laundering. In count 5, Bobrisky is accused of trading under the name and style of Bob Express between September the 1st, 2021 and April the 4th, 2024 in Lagos. Failed to submit the Special Control Unit against money laundering a declaration of the activities of the said company with a total sum of 127.7 million naira paid into its account domiciled with EcoBank. And in count 6, Bobrisky is also accused of failing to submit a declaration of the activities of the company within the same period when another 53 million naira was paid into the company's account. Let's talk business now. The naira has maintained its rebound against the US dollar across the official and parallel markets, and this is on increased dollar supply. The local currency strengthened by 1.42% against the dollar to 1,258 naira 45 kobo on Thursday, from 1,276 naira 59 kobo quoted the previous day. And analysts expect rates to trade around these levels tomorrow, barring any significant market activity. Also, experts from financial derivatives companies say they expect that the impact of the gain will lead to a reduction in commodities prices in the coming days as the naira is beginning to regain its fair value. Outside the country, the U.S. has told Israel that its ongoing support on the Gaza war is dependent on specific concrete steps to boost aid and prevent civilian deaths. President Joe Biden spoke to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the wake of the deaths of 7 World Central Kitchen staff on Monday, an incident which Israel apologized for, calling it a grave mistake. However, in a readout of a telephone call between the 2 leaders, which lasted less than 30 minutes, the White House said that the president emphasized that the strikes on humanitarian workers and the overall humanitarian situation are unacceptable. Mr. Biden faces pressure to rein in unconditional military aid for Israel. To the world of sports, 5 p.m. today, Nigeria Super Falcons will be facing the Banyana of South Africa in a crucial Olympic qualifier, and coach Randy Waldrum says the 9-time African champions are not taking anything for granted against the reigning African champions at the MKO Abiola Stadium. The Super Falcons' last Olympic participation dates back to 2008, and the coach admits they want to make things right this time around.
And even though we had a few late arrivals to camp, and it's been well documented, we have a couple of key injuries. But I think the players that we have are ready to step up and show their worth of being selected, to this team to show that they can do the job as well. And we have, as a staff, we have all the confidence in the players that are here, ready to play. And so, on the day, there's no excuses one way or the other. It's we have what we have, they have what they have, and it'll be which team shows up, the most prepared and ready to get the result.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, is asking all sports lovers to come all out to support the Super Eagles, I should say the Super Falcons actually, at the MKO Abiola Stadium. He believes that with the home support, the team can get the job done before they jet out to Pretoria for the second leg on Tuesday.
Every support we need to give this team, we should give this team. I mean, And it's my hope, and I've tried to engage and to see how much publicity can actually be given and can be made in the remaining time that there is. Because, I mean, there's no fun playing at home when you don't find the crowd and the spectators having to cheer you up. Then it makes a home match almost the same like playing away. So my hope is that that will not just be allowed to the NFF or to the ministry, but that all the journalists that are here, the entire media people, use every means that is available to them to promote this match and to encourage people to come and watch and to cheer this team up.
So let's hope the Super Falcons will repeat what the Super Eagles did.